Hello friends, this video on NEET Reproduction is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. We have learnt about budding, which is a mode of asexual reproduction. Now let us look at the two different types of budding. The first type is external budding. So in external budding, a bud grows externally on the organism's body. Now the name is quite obvious. So external budding means the bud will be on the external side of the organism's body. Now, can you think of an example where you would have seen external budding? Yes, the most obvious example is that of Hydra. So, Hydra is the most common example that we talk about when we talk of budding. So, if you see in case of Hydra, this is the bud which develops externally, like it is visible from outside. It develops on the surface of the organism's body. So this is an example. This is external budding. Now what happens in external budding as the bud grows? So the bud actually has two options. Like one option is that it grows, and once it is completely grown, like you see here in this case, it is completely grown, it may separate from the parent's body. So from here it will get separated and it will become a new organism altogether. Similarly, if you talk about budding in case of yeast, so yeast also shows budding where you have an external bud. So this is the bud, and as this bud grows, it finally separates from the organisms. Like as you see here, the bud has separated from the parent yeast and it has grown up as a different individual. But there is also another option with this bud. Now, if the bud wants, it might even remain attached and become a member of the colony of that organism. For example, cycon. So, in cycon also we see budding. Like if you see here, these are the buds. But in this case, they, even though they grow, they mature, but they do not separate from the parent organism. So, as you see here, this is also a part of the parent organism. This is also a part of the parent organism. So these are basically what? These are developed mature organisms, but earlier they were also buds. So in this case, it is like a colony. So cycon exists as a colony where the birds do not separate from the parent organism. So this is about external budding. Now let us talk about internal budding. So what happens in internal budding? Here the bud grows inside the organism's body. Now, this internal budding is also known as endogenous budding. Endo means inside. So, this is also called endogenous budding. Now, in a similar way, external budding is also called exogenous budding. So, these are just alternative names for internal and external budding. So, one very good example of internal budding is spongilla, the sponges. Right? So what happens in case of sponges? So if you look at the sponges, here they have lot of small internal buds, and these internal buds are called gemmules. So this is the name given to the internal buds. So they are also like how you had the external buds. It is just that they are formed internally. So what are these gemmules? In case of sponges, these gemmules are nothing but they consist of small groups of cells. So these cells which you see here, like which have been represented like small balls inside. So these cells are called archaeocytes, and a group of archaeocytes form gemmules. So basically these are all internal buds. Internal buds are called gemmules, but gemmules are actually made up of cells, and these cells are called archaeocytes. And this is enclosed by a protective coat. So how do these gemmules operate? Now during the unfavorable condition, they just remain inside the protective coat. But when the favorable conditions return, these archaeocytes, they come out through the micropyle end. This opening is called the micropyle. So this is the micropyle end. So during favorable conditions, these gemmules, they come out through these micropylar end and then they form a new colony. So if you look at this, here you can also see the membrane, as I was telling that there is a protective membrane which encloses the archaeocytes, and all of this entire thing is the gemmule. So please remember this terminology, because like a lot of time it happens that You know what is internal budding, you know examples of internal budding, but somebody asked you what is endogenous budding, and then you feel that you don't know what it is. So endogenous is internal budding. Similarly, gemmules are nothing but the internal buds. So because of this gemmule formation, in this case, internal budding is also termed as gemmule formation. So gemmule formation is also an alternative name for internal budding. Thank you. Please visit examfear.com for free quality education. You can learn with a simple 4-step learning process wherein you can watch video lessons, you can ask your questions, you can refer notes, and you can take a free online test. We have content for class 6 to 12 on physics, chemistry, mathematics, and biology along with practical videos. So please subscribe to our channel for daily updates. Thank you.